Alright, so something that I think is genuinely happening right now that a lot of people aren't really necessarily talking about yet is I genuinely believe that the Donovan Mitchell trade that has recently just happened might have actually fixed the NBA trade market. And again, I'll get into that, what I mean into it in a little bit, but I mean, I understand why not many people are talking about this. It is honestly a really big thing to digest that this trade has legitimately happened. I mean, I'm a Cavaliers fan, and I'm still sitting here like, holy crap, the Cavs just got Donovan freaking Mitchell, which is absolutely insane. Like, you can genuinely see the smile on my chubby face, and I'm still, man, I'm happy, right? But I think, again, one thing that it has caused, besides making a chubby white kid from Australia who likes KFC happy, is it actually, I think, fixed the NBA trade market. And what I basically mean by that is the NBA trade market has been absolutely destroyed this season. Players in previous years might have been getting traded for a couple of first round picks and a good role player or two, right? But this season, the Minnesota Timberwolves decided to trade like 4 unprotected first round picks to get Rudy Gobert. They also gave up Patrick Beverley, one of their best players of that season, Jared Vanderbilt, as well as a couple of other role players, and they did that for a dude who was considered to be a liability offensively, and a dude that you can't really have on the NBA court in like dying quarters of the game. They traded up their whole entire future and their leader and their best role player pretty much for a guy who they're not even too sure is going to work out for their team. A lot of question marks were raised. A lot of people were like, holy crap, what are Minnesota doing? To this day, I actually genuinely believe it was a great idea for Minnesota to get Rudy Gobert. I am one of those weirdos that do actually really see this as a W. I've gone on to this before and talking about how I think Cat will be excellent at the 4, and this now gives the opportunity to move, D'Lo back to the point, and then of course Jaden McDaniels or Jalen McDaniels, whichever McDaniels it is, now starts at the small forward. Again, I believe this trade made Minnesota a lot better, but the reality is it's somewhat destroyed the trade market, because you would think Rudy Gobert would maybe be like, again, maybe 3 unprotected first round picks, and Patrick Beverley and Vanderbilt would probably get the deal done in previous years, right? But it ended up being 4 unprotected first round picks, like 3 pick swaps or something like that on top of that, I think it was, and Jared Vanderbilt, Patrick Beverley, and more role players, like double what I just originally said. Trading for a player now is more insane than ever. Then you've got the Kevin Durant one. Kevin Durant requests a trade, right? He requests a trade. Everyone knows about this, and basically the Brooklyn Nets are saying to themselves, hold on, if the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to get 4 unprotected firsts, 2 solid role players, and pick swaps for an offensive liability, then what can we get for Kevin Durant, who has really no liability besides being a snake and not being able to win with Steph Curry? Yeah, I called you out, KD. Fight me. Probably not. I'm pretty sure that bloke is like 14 inches taller than me. Probably don't fight me. Anyway, they saw that and they were like, hold on a second. Kevin Durant is 3 times the player what Rudy Gobert is, and that's being generous. Surely we can get like 8 to 10 unprotected first round picks, a bunch of solid role players, and an all-star type talent. And I know this is what they wanted, because they went over to Minnesota and said, can we get your best player and franchise player, Karl Anthony Towns? We want Anthony Edwards as well, your future franchise player, one of the best young players in the league, and 4 unprotected first round picks. And it was rumored they wanted more pick swaps on top of that. Like, that is insane. Genuinely insane. Would you be surprised that no one traded for Kevin Durant? Obvious, because his trade value was through the roof, and no one can get a deal done. So now KD remains on the Nets, and God, it's going to be interesting to see how that team pans out this season. I honestly somehow think Ben Simmons is going to save it all. Low-key Simmons has become an underrated player just because he would rather play FIFA and 2K than actually go and step on a court. Fair enough. But then, the Cavaliers come out of nowhere, and they see that the NBA trade market is kind of broken, and that teams are wanting all of these picks for all these players, but no teams are really biting on it, where teams are now being like way too nervous to do anything, and the Cavs just come in and say, alright, we'll split the middle. We're not going to be nervous, but we're not going to overpay. We're just going to go dead set right in the middle, and we're going to offer up 3 unprotected first round picks, not 7 like Utah were asking for, but we're not going to offer like 1 like teams like Miami were doing. 3 unprotected first round picks, an extremely good young player in Colin Sexton, extremely good role player in Larry Markkinen, and their top 15 pick Ochai Agbaji from this year's draft. Fair enough. Great deal. And the reality is this kind of, I think, somewhat put the trade desk really right back into what it should be. It's the middle ground now. It's no teams asking for 8 first round picks for these players. It's not teams like Miami and the Lakers trying to lowball these teams by only offering 1 protected first round pick. No, a team finally stood up and said, we're not going to lowball a team, but we're not going to overpay 10 first round picks. We're going to go in and give what we actually think Donovan Mitchell's worth. And Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star, a franchise player. I think what the Cavs traded up is absolutely fair, and I think Utah, what they got back was absolutely fair. It is a little bit weird, though, to think that the Utah Jazz somewhat got as much back for Donovan Mitchell as they did for Rudy Gobert, and I still think Donovan Mitchell is a way better player. Like, that is still weird to me, but that just shows where the trade period was at, where teams were like, holy crap, Rudy Gobert got traded for so much, we don't want to give up that much, but teams were asking for that much, right? They were legitimately asking for 8 first-round picks. And then you got the teams, as I just said, like the Lakers and the Heat, which were kind of putting everyone to a shame, where they were just like, we'll give you a first-round pick. They were lowballing people. People will only talk about teams like Minnesota and Brooklyn, or Brooklyn more specifically, asking for 10 first-round picks for Kevin Durant, but won't talk about the fact that that's not the only reason the trade, scene was absolutely destroyed. It was the other reason of Miami and Lakers and other teams were trying to lowball every team. None of these trades are getting done, not just because these teams are asking too much, but teams like Miami and Lakers are trying to lowball them. They're offering up a first-round pick. Like, the Lakers apparently tried to offer up, I heard it was a rumor of THT and a first for Kyrie. Like, if you're the Nets, you're blocking that number. That's disgusting. Don't even, and I think Lakers fans know that too. Like, Lakers fans even saw that and were like, Jesus Christ, what? But the Cavaliers were the first team, I think, out of everyone to actually come out and say, we're not going to give you 10 first-round picks. We're not going to lowball you and give you 1 first-round pick. We're actually just going to come out and give you what we think Donovan Mitchell's worth, and that's 3 unprotected firsts, a young player, or 2 young players, and a good role player. And then the trade got done, because Utah couldn't get anything else. They were also sick of being lowballed by teams like Miami and the Lakers, and even the Knicks ended up lowballing them in the end by declining an offer that Utah asked for back. The only team that really, was actually ready to negotiate was the Cavaliers at the end of the day, and they got the deal done. They didn't overpay, they didn't underpay. It's a perfect win-win trade, you would think, for both teams. Of course, the Cavaliers are going to look like they won it, but at the end of the day, we could see Colin Sexton go off in Utah. Markkinen could be a great player. Ochai could be a great role player in his career for Utah, and those picks help him. Again, right now it's a win for the Cavaliers, but long term it could be a win-win for both teams. Cavs didn't lowball them. They stuck to their guns. They offered Utah a fair deal, and in doing so, they fixed the whole entire, trade scene that we're kind of seeing right now. They didn't lowball and they didn't overpay. They did exactly what they should have done, and I hope a lot more teams start to take notice in this. I hope Nets start, stop wanting 1,200 first-round picks for their players. And I sure hope a team like Minnesota doesn't offer up 8 first-round picks to get a player again. Like, God. That's not going to help any trade get done. So, yeah. Good on the Cavs. I'm going to bring my hat right here because I'm very proud of my team. They did very well. Not only getting Donovan Mitchell, but, again, they were fair while doing it. So, again, of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys agree with everything I said? Do you guys not? Go subscribe to my gaming channel, my IRL/following channel, and my podcast. All of them will be getting linked down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.